All right, welcome back for our final match of the week here for week 2 for Pioneer Masters feature matches. We got Chris O here up against our reigning Player of the Year, Zach C. And his opponent in the Player of the Year finals, Thomas, is going to tell us all about what's in Zach's hand over there.
Yep, he's got two district guys in hand. He's got scattered to the winds. He's got turn and burn, and an honored hydra.
Okay, so looks to be some green blue base potentially with some extra goodies there with a bunch of colors possibly. Chris, I did actually also play against him earlier, and he looks to be running more or less the same deck that I played earlier against him with, which is a black white, pretty low to the ground, small creatures, get value from them with some removal. He does have a Sorin in hand, the one from War of the Spark, as well as Swift Reckoning and Zulaport Cutthroat. He's getting the news about what's in hand here for Zach.
All of the invasion.
Zach's gonna play a value game here with the district guides and the Fell Stinger.
If he only had one district guy, this totally invasion would be pretty bad. But the second one kind of means it doesn't. He's kind of okay with this.
Yeah, I almost want to take the counter spell or the draw spell, the Fell Stinger, but he goes for the turn and burn. And funnily enough, the total of the invasion actually, he had an army in play, so he actually gets to pump the army token, which is pretty significant actually. Not not something I was necessarily expecting to see in this league. Yeah, so I guess we'll find out exactly how many potential colors Zach is trying to go for here. Well, we already see a Fell
Like he
Stinger and a
has
Turn
all
Burn.
of them. Yeah, it looks like he has all of them.
Okay, so he just says, you know, he does what a lot of people are doing, which is I see all my powerful cards. I want to play them all. I have enough fixing, or hopefully have enough fixing with two district guides. Looks like he's set to play whatever he wants to play.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see week three. A lot of people are gonna have to change their decks a lot.
Yeah, I think the majority of people are going to need a major rebuilding.
The people who are
I know for
winning a
me,
lot are gonna have.
I'm pretty close to two colors, so um, but yeah, a lot of people are gonna basically just have to build a completely new deck with completely different strategy for better
People who
or
are
for
winning a
worse.
lot might be like be like playing like every card like just to like or maybe just playing like I don't know like 30 lands just to like not have to play like complete garbage.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody's gonna be quite there. Most of the cards are at least borderline playable,
Yeah.
But get your Scion of Ugins ready, your 6 mana colorless 4/4 flyers. Those will probably be making decks, and I'm talking mostly about my deck. Yeah, District Guide, just such a solid card here. Has been a big part of the draft format too, just by being a common for draft purposes. Yeah, Zach, I'm sure he has some Gates payoffs. We'll possibly be seeing them. Right, so Chris here, he's got the Sorin going, and the Sorin has very high loyalty. It starts pretty high, and it just keeps climbing. It's pretty hard to kill with like normal damage. Like sometimes you can kill it with a destroy a planeswalker spell, but it just gains such nice value here. Pinging your opponent, gaining life, potentially reanimating things. Just having all your creatures have lifelink is very very huge. Lifelink on your turn. Yeah,
And eventually it's gonna bring things back, but
yeah, it could bring things back later. Yeah, he says all all attack. I'm cool with it. This is leaving Soren open to attacks, but Soren is on such high loyalty that I don't think he cares that much. Chris.
yeah.
Yeah. So what are Zach's options here for the turn? We see some of his hand, but we don't see all of it.
Yeah, he just got another land and a supernatural stamina.
Okay.
Probably wants to fell stinger this. I mean, maybe wants to hold up scatter spell. The thing is, the opponent knows about it, right? So it's a little less exciting.
Yeah,
But
and we have a couple removal spells here in hand for Chris, which I think most of the time you rather get your creatures countered than your removal spells, but because you have a lot of creatures and you probably don't have as many removals. Yeah, he has
the thing
Swift
is, okay,
Reckoning and he has Baleful Mastery, um, which he could cast for 2 mana, but he has to give his opponent a card. That was from that Strixhaven cycle where you can reduce the cost of it, but you give your opponent something.
if Zach attacks, then like a creature, then Chris can trade a creature and then revive it,
Yep,
right? So it's kind of
exactly. Yeah, it says that sword. It's like it's not broken, it's not busted, but it does have a significant impact on the game. It's like all the abilities just seem small when you read them separately, but like when the card's in play, it's quite annoying. So Chris has drawn a War Oracle. He's this is pretty obviously a scatter to the wind. Zach is more or less like open faced that he's gonna scatter to the winds
mhm.
here. So let's see. Chris has drawn War Oracle, a creature, so maybe he'll feed the creature to the counter spell and just be done with it.
I think if he wants a supernatural stamina, get another land here, but he could
Okay.
get blown out.
Yeah, well, this way he still leaves up Scatter to the Wind, so can't really do too much about it.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
Chris knows that. It's just like I always hate when I like my opponent knows I have a counterspell and I leave it open. It's just like telling my opponent, yeah, like just play your worst cards because I'm gonna basically have to counter them always. Yeah, I mean
Well, this
this
one
is
you're not too unhappy to counter.
yeah. I think this is as good a target as Zach could expect to have. With an open faced counterspell. You know, oh, he's
Ooh,
winning
that's it.
himself. Yeah. So one thing I
I
know
guess
about Zach is he's very patient, and he plans ahead. So if he's not countering that, it's because he's figuring out that he has something he wants to do.
the other
Like
thing is you can revive it if it gets countered. So, or
yeah, the Soren's putting him in a bit of a bind here, but like Chris's must be pretty happy. Like he just made his opponent leave up a counterspell and not have any way to deal with it. And now we have a pretty clean answer to the Honored Hydra here with the Baleful Mastery because it exiles. Oh, okay. He's chosen to give him a card in order to be able to cast more spells.
yeah, Zach
Yeah,
hasn't gotten much since just a Leaf Crown Dryad and the Lundy Vision, the land that like top 6 cards. I think you get to
okay.
find a non-creature.
Yeah, Salundi Vision. Yeah. So um, giving his opponent a card has allowed Chris to be able to cast his Tomic here, which is a 2 mana 2/3 flying. It has texts about lands not being able to be targeted by something or other. It's a very strange text, but it's mostly just for our purposes. It's a 2 mana 2/3 flying. Yeah, so Zach is gonna have to proceed with caution here potentially. The Soren's gonna keep pinging him. There's now a 2/3 flyer.
From Gates of Blaze.
Yeah, Salundi Vision is not really where you want to be right now. That might be somewhere where you want to be, but okay.
How many gates this?
I see one, two. I see two.
Two. She has a third gate in hand, which is actually kind of perfect because it's a 4/4.
Yeah, I mean, still the Soren's just like it's climbing up. He can get back something
Yeah.
that died. It's just like the Gates Ablaze will do something, but it's not going to do it's not going to deal with the Sorin, which is the thing that's causing the problem here.
Hmm.
Like he has no way to just remove this from the board, and eventually can just ping opponent to death and do other things in the meantime. Yep.
And he's got the guy who will deal even more damage when all his creatures die. So
Yeah, the Zulaport Cutthroat. Yeah, so he has Imperious Oligarch in hand. He's gonna opt not to cast that into this Gates Ablaze. He has a Swift Reckoning, which he does have the Spell Mastery, so he can actually. Yeah, this is. He's getting low here. He's gonna. I mean, Soren's on 14 loyalty, but I guess he's gonna.
Chris is on 37 lives.
Yeah,
So
he's gonna try and Swift Reckoning here. Zach can fight over this if he wants, but
what is it?
is this
I mean, I
what he
guess
decides
you
to fight over finally? Okay, he says this is worth it.
also let you awaken later. Might as well. Something to do.
So Soren can start bringing back things little by little. He does have an Oligarch here. He could also just, yeah, he could bring back Zulaport. Let's see what he decides to bring back. Interesting that he's going for the Reaver here. Maybe he's gonna plan to get Zulaport back next turn. But with opponent at 5, I like having Zulaport Cutthroat in play.
Just
Oh,
turn and burn.
oh,
That
he
I
drew
don't
another
think.
one.
Yeah.
Okay, not a bad one. Don't know if it's gonna
Yeah.
progress the game exactly where he needs it to be at this state, but it can do something here. What else is he holding there?
I'm just two forests.
Okay, so just the Fell Stinger. I mean, Fell Stinger, you want to draw cards, but you can't lose 2 life here, so
Yeah.
that's not an option. I mean, he could just play it out, but the
I
exploit is not an option. I don't, I can't
do like
imagine.
it. I mean, you're so close to dead, and you just like you can bring back the guy who's when your creatures die, you lose life.
Yeah, I thought he was going to bring that back this past turn, but I guess he just valued having the bodies out and then maybe bring out the Zulaport after. Yeah, this is very much what I was up against when I was playing him earlier today. Just these black white small little creatures, value bringing stuff back. He played the Sorin in one of the games.
Yeah, you say you can't exploit, but he kind of has to exploit just to look for something because he has nothing right now.
Yeah, I think
At
that's
the
what
same
he's
time,
deciding here. Just feels so risky. Yeah, I guess
yeah,
this
but I mean,
way
doing nothing
he doesn't lose
is like,
board presence this way. I mean, does Zach have an instant speed removal? Because Zulaport Cutthroat is potentially lethal here.
I mean, burn is
Okay,
instant
yeah,
speed.
yeah, that'll do it. Yeah, because he could bring back Zulaport Cutthroat. If Zach has nothing, he can just
He also drew heated debate, so
okay.
that's two
Okay,
removal spells. So.
so the Zulaport Cutthroat is not going to win the game here because if Zach didn't have any removal, this would just win the game. It's 3 damage
Mhm.
guaranteed.
Yeah.
Well, not guaranteed, but pretty close to. He could chump block the 1-2. Yeah, so he's saying, well, you need instant speed removal, or else it's big trouble here.
Next time he can draw off the briefcase, maybe find something. Probably it's probably not, but it's
Yeah, he's gonna have to gain life
tough.
here. Is the thing because between Zulaport and Sorin, his life is gonna get drained more or less, no matter what. I mean, Zulaport's gonna die, but it triggers off itself even when it dies. So
Yeah.
let's see.
Maybe you can turn it? No, that's That's not worth it, right? You have to sack the briefcase.
I think he's just gonna have to play burn probably.
Yeah. I mean, just like sack the briefcase to save one life. That's probably not.
Yeah. So it says I'll do this. You'll lose your whole board. Yeah, there's still the problem of this Soren pinging. Yeah, the rogue was what he drew for turn, so he's gonna run that out. Whoop, sorry about that.
Another briefcase doesn't really help.
Oh, he's draw. Okay, so another. I think he has to sack the one in play.
Yeah.
No choice here.
Also, research doesn't do anything. Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, so there's just these little pings here and there, and some, a few clean attacks. Got Chris like this is how his deck is wants to operate. Like this is kind of exactly the game he wants to play. Draw a couple removals, play a bunch of small creatures, get in some damage, do a little bit of draining.
You can briefcase to cast heated debate, so he's not dead yet, but it's not looking good.
Yeah, uncontested Soren. It doesn't necessarily run away with the game, but it puts you in a position where it's very hard for the opponent to come back from after. Which I guess by definition is kind of running away with the game a little bit. All right, he says, "I need to attack this thing because as long as this is in play, it's a big threat to me."
Kill it with heated debate.
Yeah, but the 5/3 will kill him. So
Oh yeah.
okay, so he does say it's time for me to get rid of that. Yeah, so he's going to one here. Is Zach, but one is not zero, not yet at least.
Gonna cast compulsive research, look for something to save him from this 1/1 player.
That compulsive research is a good one. Yeah, he definitely needs an answer here, obviously. Yeah, so keep digging.
Leafhorn Dryad, that's reach. Oh, he
That
also has Divulix and Frost.
okay, so it looks like he will be able to remain alive here. A very, very tough position to come back from, but obviously not an impossible one.
I mean, he's got a lot of stuff, but
Right, so he's just going to play two blockers here, and oh, that's a pretty nice draw, I would say. So now there's four lethal creatures in play. So if Zach has multiple removals, he can stay alive here because he can potentially tap some of them. Yeah, no, those aren't going to do it. I mean,
he got rescue.
he'll take the essence scatter, but
He got rescue from the underworld. Does that get anything that would?
well, it'll tap one of them down at the very least. And it still needs to. If you can get another blocker and play with it, it'll tap down something. But he has to do it now. The way that rescue from the underworld works is that it brings the creatures back at the beginning of the next upkeep, I believe.
Yeah.
So if he had another flyer or reach creature in his graveyard, which he did have a Leaf Crown Dryad, another one. I don't know
Yeah.
if that got exiled randomly or not, but I think he's figuring out that he doesn't have anything. Alright. So he said good game, but then went to attacks. So who knows what was meant by it. Right. So as it stands, he
He's reading Rescue from the Underworld now, so maybe he misunderstood what it
yeah. So
does.
yeah. So if he did have a reach creature to bring back, it's too late now because it brings it back. It brings them back at upkeep. It's a very strange card. So flavorfully, like it makes sense. Like you're sending your creature down into the underworld to go grab something from the underworld, and then they both come back. So it makes sense flavor wise, but it brings them back at upkeep.
Oh yeah, yeah. No wait, no, he could have made it work.
Yeah, he had to cast it during his turn. Yeah, if he cast it during his turn, he's actually alive because the Leaf Crown Drag comes back. The 1/1 stays tapped for that turn.
Yeah, and then he gets the Philology Archaeologist to
Yeah, to maybe go
trigger
find
it.
something else. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So very rare potential misread of the card here from our reigning player of the year. So um, like I've got a pretty difficult card to wrap your head around sometimes because you're not used to having things come back at a player's upkeep. Usually they're coming back
Yeah.
at end step normally. Yeah, so looking through Chris's deck here, I mean, he's looking at what his opponent played. Teamer base for, 5 color.
Oh, it's your next upkeep, so
Oh,
it didn't
is
work
it?
anyway.
Oh, is it your next upkeep? Oh, okay. Wow, that card is, it's very difficult to use. All I remember is back in original Theros, you would just go sack your Gray Merchant to go bring back 2 Gray Merchants and just win the game because Gray Merchant of Asphodel used to be a common. But yeah, a little weird card, a bit out of place, I think. Any sideboarding going on over there?
I was looking at the coach saying, I didn't see any, but I might have missed. He's thinking about cutting his self thing.
Okay, so far we had
Oh, no, yeah, he added 2 cards. Wait, I'm trying to figure out what he added, but I
okay,
guess it's probably not gonna happen. But
yeah.
oh no, I see. He added well, he cut Mage Slayer's Onslaught. Yes, I missed. I was checking on Rescue from the Underworld. I missed
Is
the
that a two
sideboard.
black removal spell?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a
it's
bit
like
ambitious
it's 4 mana
his deck. Yeah, it's two
and the
black
sorcery
for
too.
yeah. So he's bringing in Gurmag Angler here and Keening Apparition. Maybe just figuring opponent doesn't have that many ways to kill a 5/5, and the Keening Apparition can kill some Leaf Crown Dryads or other enchantments that are hanging around. So no major changes, but the Gurmag Angler is something that will probably usually survive Gates Ablaze. And he saw Teamer colors, which have limited ways to deal with a 5/5.
He's got 2 district guides again, and the Augmenter Pugilist and a
Okay.
Turn Burn.
Okay. Pugilist is can be pretty scary late game. So Chris has got Swift Reckoning, Supernatural Stamina. He's got the Return Centaur, and he's got Umbral Juke, which is a card from Strixhaven. It's a 3 mana instant. Either you make a 2/1 flying token, or your opponent sacrifices a creature.
Oh, yeah, back.
Pretty good one. Yeah. So yeah, so Zach's hand sounds like kind of similar to his first the first game.
Yeah. And you're gonna get a district guide coming out. I don't think he has anything else to play. Actually, I guess he could play the augmented pugilist, but
Nah, you
if he
don't need to
wants
play that
to,
now. That thing, that thing is plenty good later on. Potentially
yeah.
becoming an 8/8 trample.
I forgot what the other side of augmented pugilist is. What does this do?
I believe it's like all your creatures become a copy of another creature.
Yeah, he's hovering over it.
In theory,
He's got
the
another
in
landed.
theory, like the backside plays well with like if you have the front side also. I think that's how they made those cards. Like if you have an augmenter pugilist and play with a bunch of creatures, and you have another one in your hand, it's like it's you cast the sorcery. But that sorcery did not see very much play. If you were not playing green, you would. If you were just playing blue and not green, you would not. You would basically never put that card in your deck. So it's like a very rarely played card. Okay, so he is
Yeah,
actually
let's go with
starting
the
with the
augmented
pugilist
pugilist.
rather than the district guide, which kind of plays into this umbral juke here, the sacrifice effect.
Yeah, kind of unfortunate.
Yeah, Chris is
But I mean, I
deciding if
kind
he
of like
wants
the
to.
idea of playing
Okay,
the bigger thing first. You can get the lands later when you need them, but
yeah,
it's
makes sense.
not gonna work out.
Yeah, so okay, Chris is actually deciding he's gonna cast Tomic here
Interesting.
rather than just play Umbral Juke and get rid of this thing.
This is kind of his one chance to Umbral Juke this thing, right? Because now the District Guide's gonna come out.
Yeah, I mean he does have supernatural stamina here.
Oh, I
It would,
see.
I mean, into that open mana would be pretty brave to try his stamina. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think you're doing that. There's no reason to do that. Yeah, I just don't think this 2/3 is like that matters that much right now, and I kind of rather just like this sack effect is now basically not really doing anything. I mean, the good thing about the card is that you could still cast it for a 2/1 flyer, so it's not like it's not dead.
Hmm.
Yeah, it looks like Chris is already set up for next week, Devotion Week. So he's good. He has his two colors. Okay, so he just said I'll do it this way with the Swift Reckoning,
Yeah,
and
that
he
makes
gets to
sense.
Undead Butler here and put some creatures in his graveyard. So yeah, so instead of using the Umbral Juke, he developed Tomic last turn, and now he was able to get rid of it with the Swift Reckoning and have a follow up play. What are Zach's options here?
Yeah, he's gonna play another District Guide. He's got three lands in hand. So,
Sounds a bit
but
like
he's
last
got
game.
yeah. So he's going to be holding up Jawari Disruption. They have to
Yeah,
pay counter unless they pay one with the land on the other side and burn. Presumably, that's the only play I see. I don't
yeah.
think he's going to hold like count and burn.
I just hate holding
That's-
Jawari Disruption up like past turn two.
Yeah, but at least he's got the burn up too, so it's
Yeah, that makes
not
sense.
doesn't feel
Yeah,
as bad.
that's one of the ones I like almost always play as a land. Like that probably has one of the highest percentage of like how many times I played it as a land versus held it as a spell.
Yeah, and you kind of want to play it fast because it's not going to do anything later, or at
Yeah,
least less likely to
yeah. It
do things
always has the
later.
buyout of castable as a land or playable as a land, but yeah, it's another one. It's just you want that card out of your hand.
We didn't. We put the swamp instead of a mountain, so he doesn't have burn up. He just has the droid disruption up.
Interesting. So Chris can play his returned centaur here, which is a 4 drop. So he will be able to pay one if demanded to. Could also just leave up the Umbral Juke here. Interesting doing this on his turn.
Mhm.
Not sure if there was a specific reason he did that. Maybe playing around. I mean, he had man up for a counterspell anyway, but nothing that actually stops the non creature.
Do Courier's Briefcase, which can draw him cards next turn, I guess.
The Courier's Briefcase I seem to be a very, very important card for a lot of these decks, along with District Guide. So unfortunately, Courier's Briefcase is completely unplayable next week. There's no situation where it
Yeah.
can legally be in anyone's deck. Whether so, whether that's well designed league or not, who knows? But fact is, enjoy them this week. Right, and down comes another gate. I mean, you know, while all this is happening, Chris is just gonna be clocking him here in the air.
Yeah, Zach kind of has nothing really. Kind of. But I mean, the briefcase will hopefully find something.
Yeah, he does have all five colors, but yeah, he's gonna cast his Return Centaur here. Kind of like perfect size blocker here. Like this card is normally a card you would not really want in your deck, uh, unless you absolutely had to play it. But yeah, he does have a couple delve spells and some recursion. So milling four is not that bad. He does he literally has the Undead Butler in play already. Yeah,
Oh, he's not.
Zach can't really attack. He's just going to draw cards this turn, I guess.
Yeah.
But he's going to eight if he doesn't find anything. Yeah, just this is a no expert analysis required here. Chris is just playing flyers and attacking with them.
Gonna turn and burn this turn. I guess.
Yeah, turn and burn can kill both of them.
Oh.
Yeah, if you could ever get like a 2-for-1 from turn and burn, that's kind of like the dream.
Yeah, I'm not used to that. I didn't realize you could target two different creatures with
Yep,
it.
absolutely. Yeah, that's the dream with this card, right? Like kill two creatures in combat. Like this is the card at its peak. This is literally like basically the best thing you can do with this. Turn something into an 0-1, block it, and then just straight up kill something.
Chris have something here?
I think he's might be searching to see how turn works with supernatural stamina. Because he has supernatural stamina in hand, he would have to let the turn resolve,
Yeah.
and then it can gain new text after. Because of the way timing and I think it's called layers or something or other.
This should be timestamps, I
Yeah, so
guess.
if he fires off the supernatural stamina now on Tomek, that's no good, I believe, because it'll gain the ability and then it will lose it. But
Mm-hmm.
now he can do it, and it can gain new text, and that's probably worth it here.
Yeah,
It's his
especially
only
smart.
actual source of damage here.
Yeah.
I think he's like not sure if it works or not. He's like possibly doing some searches to figure out if this works the way he wants it to. And it should absolutely work the way he wants it to, which is
Mm-hmm.
first creature to come back. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's just he has to let the turn resolve, and then he can give it new text.
Is this? You have five. You do Niblets of Frost. I'm seeing if he has 5 mana after that, but I don't think he does. No, he's 8 lands.
Well, yeah, and he would also need another blue source if he wanted to.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, you know, two in the air is much different than four in the air. And Chris is out of cards here, just has a plane in hand. So Zach now has the time that he needs. He's
Mm-hmm.
he might get hit by Tomek once more, maybe even twice more, but he has the time and he has the cards. So he's just looking to take over this game now before he gets too much lower. And another turn and burn
Yeah.
result there is going to be quite a beating potentially.
This with
Okay,
the
what did he
heated
grab? The
advantage
heated
is
debate?
good.
Yeah, that works too. Oh, here's a
And he
nice.
also has Spell Harvest, so he has even more removal.
Oh boy. Okay. Here's a nice card off the top here. Tithe Bearer Giant. Simple card. 6 mana, 4/5. Draw a card, lose a life. Very very nice card. I do enjoy creatures that draw a card when they come in, even if they are 6 mana. All right. So what are Zach's options here? He's got six
He
cards in
drew.
hand. We know one of them.
Yeah, he's got the Nibblus of Frost. He's still got the Jewelry Disruption. He's got a Forest. He just drew Scattered to the Winds,
Okay.
uh, and he has Spark Harvest. He
Okay.
can't
So
cast
yeah.
the can't cast the Scattered to the Winds this turn, but in the coming turns it will be
Yeah, but he could
pretty
like he
good.
could debate the Talmic and tap down like the Tidebearer Giant. Yeah, this is
Yeah.
right. So we got a nice little card here. He can go find a lesson. I saw he had a couple in his sideboard before. So okay, so he's got an introduction to Annihilation, which is the 5 mana exile something. Opponent draws a card, or the controller draws a card.
Just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, no,
He's
they
got
can't Jewelry. The opportunity. But,
so
okay.
unless Chris has got a mega read on Zach that he has Dwari Disruption, uh, he's not going to play around it. But he's with the amount of mana that Chris has at play, it's going to be awful difficult for him to get duped by it. Yeah, so here he's using his Niblis here just to make sure he doesn't get attacked for any significant amount of damage this turn. In fact, no damage at all. So yeah, Chris solved like the problem of the Niblis, but Zach still is up, a bunch of cards on him, and Chris just has the planes left with no real
He
pressure
does
right now.
do another district guide and an and he has evolving
How
wilds.
many district guides does one man have? The answer
How
is,
many does he have? Let me see.
I mean, it's at least three,
3.
potentially more.
It's exactly 3.
Okay, well, yeah, I guess when you have triple district guide and like double career briefcase, you can just build whatever deck you want. Just take your most powerful cards and play them all. Gurmag Angler off the top here, so that's a large creature. If Zach doesn't have anything here, there's going to be a 5/5 and a 4/5 potentially attacking him next turn. But he does have a counter spell, right?
You got a counter spell, you got the Spark
Okay.
Harvest
Yeah, okay.
for
So
the
Gurmag
4
Angler is
5.
either not going to resolve or die immediately. I'm guessing he's going to let it resolve and kill it, but I could be wrong. Maybe he just wants
I
to use his
mean, you
counter
might
spell
want to
here.
Spark Harvest the 4 5, right?
Yeah, it could be. Like, I know, like, in these spots, if you have the removal spell, you just use the removal spell and leave up your counter spell for something that you can't just kill with a removal.
Yeah.
But he does say, I think the threat of letting you have both a 5/5 and a 4/5 is too great, and now he can get rid of the 4/5 and find himself clear of danger for the time
He
being.
doesn't need to get rid of the 4 5 now.
Yeah, so it looks like Zach is looking pretty stable here uh, in this game. No real threats from Chris. I mean, the 4/5 can be, team blocked.
Yeah, Zach doesn't have anything yet, but I feel like Zach's gonna find something at some point.
Yeah, and like his average top deck is probably going to be a bit more powerful than Chris, just because he has access to cards of many different colors, therefore more likely to have powerful cards. Killian Ink Duelist off the top here, cool card, just not going to do too much now. It's a 2 mana, 2/2 lifelink menace. Creatures you or spells you cast that target a creature cost 2 mana less. So cool card, but not exactly what he needed at this time. But like that card on turn 2 is extremely powerful, but less so on turn 12 or wherever we are. Is it Chris deciding if he wants to attack with a 4/5 here and trade it for 2 creatures?
Just one creature, right? Because 3 3 and the 2 2 block it.
Oh yeah, just the 1 creature really. All right, so here's the Killian. Sorry about that.
You Dreadbore. But he's just being patient. Yeah. No need to kill this 4/5 because they
Yeah,
can't really
Zach
kill
is kind
anything.
of he's in a pretty good spot here, I would say. Again, Chris could draw something super impactful off the top, but Zach's set
Yeah.
himself up to be in a good spot. And compulsive research means he can go find more things to do. Yep.
To Honored Hydra and Redhound? I wonder if you could. I wonder if you just discard. You discard two cards and then discard the Hydra? Probably not.
That can't be right.
Yeah. I just had the idea, but no.
Yeah, he can just cast his spells. Yeah, this Dreadhound is actually, he could cast the Dreadhound and potentially just start having quite a number of attacks due to the text on the Dreadhound. So Soren has been drawn here, um, who we saw really have a huge impact on the last game, and I think he needed something impactful to draw, and this might be what he needs. He scanned his
Buckler
graveyard
just
looking for things to bring back.
Buckler just kills planeswalkers though, so he
Yes.
can't keep this.
Yeah.
Does Dreadball kill planeswalkers too? I don't remember which ones kill planeswalkers.
Dreadbore does kill Planeswalker, as does the other one that you said. The Spark Harvest from War of the Spark.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dreadbore, I believe, trivia fact here, I believe it was the first card ever printed that directly had the word Planeswalker on it. Like, as far as, like, something that could target a Planeswalker.
Wow.
Yeah. It was a rare originally in its Return to Ravnica. Yeah, so I believe it was the first card that could target a Planeswalker directly. Like anything that deals damage to a player can, back in the day, was you could redirect it to a Planeswalker before they changed the rules. Anyway, Rise of Extus here off the top, so you can get rid of that Dreadhound and go get one of his other lessons.
Let's see what other lessons he has. He's another introduction to Annihilation.
Yeah, he had another introduction to Annihilation, and he has Expanded Anatomy, which puts 2 counters on a creature, and it gains a vigilance until end of turn. Oh, oh, I think he misclicked there because
Oh,
I think he wanted to loot or like discard and draw a card, but you have to then go back to your hand. Like there's it gives you a little tab that says your hand and your sideboard, and so you
oh,
so if you just say decline, it does nothing. You have to go back to your hand, and then you have to click the card in your hand to drop it and draw a card.
weird.
Yeah, it's pretty bad template. I remember the first time that happened to me. I was like, oh, okay, never doing that again. Just because like you would imagine it just lets you loot if you don't take a card from your sideboard, but you actually have to select that option. And here's a Basilica Screecher card that always puts in work. I'm a fan of that one, but yeah, Zach's just overwhelming him here with cards.
Yeah.
Eventually, he'll get in a position where he can, find what he needs to move this game into a winning position. Honored Hydra
Yeah,
is
he
a
got
great
his.
start.
Yeah, you guys returned from the underworld again. Oh, rescue from the underworld.
He's is that
He's also
another
got.
Nicholas, or did he play one already, or
Oh, wait, did he? I don't remember.
okay.
Wait, let me see. I can just. No, yeah, he has two divless.
Okay,
I don't know if. Yeah.
not bad. Yeah, it seemed like he played one already. Yeah, so Chris put in his little chat box, not to Zach, but to us, Gates Ablaze, perhaps he's thinking there's one of those coming. But Zach doesn't really need to Gates Ablaze here. Zach has the better board, so he doesn't. Yeah, Gates Ablaze is for when you don't have the better board, and that's not the status of things right now. Looks like Chris is gonna chump block, but not really. Like it only soaks up 2 damage, but he does want to get something back here. Let's see, I think he's thinking of Gurmag Angler here, potentially Black Plume Rogue. I mean, Black Plume Rogue seems better than a Gurmag Angler, but neither of them seem great here. Yeah. So what else is Zach holding here with all these cards in hand?
Well, he's got this. Well, he's got the card he's playing right now. He's got yeah. So his hand currently is the still the Jawari Disruption, the Spark Harvest, Leaf Crown Dryad, and Rescue from the Underworld.
Okay. I think if he does cast Rescue from the Underworld, he will be able to time it the way that he needs it to,
Yeah.
especially after last game. Good, good players like Zach, might make an error, but the key is to not make the same error twice.
Well, he didn't make an error because it actually
Oh,
it's on the beginning
it
of
didn't
your
work
game.
either way, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, he says, I want to take a look at your hand here.
So you can get the Leaf Crown Dryad. That's the only card you can get.
I mean, we'll take it. Yeah, there it goes. Here comes the rogue here. But yeah, these creatures aren't really doing too much. Of
Two,
note, the
three.
life
Oh,
drain
four.
zombie is unblockable right now, but he does have a kill spell for it. He could fight. He could use the Domri again in a couple turns, but he can just kill it with the Spark
Is
Harvest.
Dreadhound lethal? Probably not.
Oh, he's thinking if he's going to rescue the Dreadhound.
Well, oh wait, no. Wait, what happens to the Dreadhound? Does it get exiled? It's not in his graveyard, so it must have gotten exiled. I must.
Okay, makes sense to me. All right, so I think he
He's
is.
getting the possessed scab instead.
Does that get you back rescue from the underworld? Oh no,
No,
rescue
because
from the
Rescue from the
underworld.
Underworld exiles.
It exiles itself. Yes, of course. All the fun cards exile themselves. What a shame. I'm not sure if he meant to do that before attacks. Not that it gave uh, Chris any additional attacks, but
Wow. Okay.
he could turn all of his
Yeah,
creatures
just
into
everything's gonna be
trample.
the Hydra.
Yeah,
Right?
this is the case where you do cast that side of it. Like I said, does not get cast very often. Of note, he has 12 cards left in his deck here. As a reminder, we are playing 60 card format.
He's gonna choose the flyer. Yeah, that also like the same
Okay,
thing.
well that'll do it. Yeah, I mean, like I said, that side of it rarely gets cast. Oh, he's just showing off now. Yeah, so we rarely see that side cast, but when we do, it's usually like when it's usually the turn that you win the game. So it's a nice option to have. Yeah, I mean that card does absolutely silly things potentially, but it's like you need to have a big board like that. But the game called for it. Yeah, so I mean Zach was like kind of in control of that game for quite a while before that before that
Yeah.
before that turn, but He found a way to just say, okay, let me end the game immediately, rather than give you more chances to find things to maybe pull you back in. But Zach just went through so much more of his deck. He had 12 cards left in his deck, right? I mean, he milled a few, but he drew a lot. Like he
Yeah.
cast compulsive research. He cast two courier's briefcase.
Mhm. No sideboard, and he has no lands in his opening hand, so Zach's gonna mulligan,
Yeah,
and now he
Chris
has
is
6 lands.
Chris is mulliganing two. He had his first hand had a Sorin and all lands, but now he's got an okay hand to go with here.
Probably
He's
has to mulligan again with 6 lands. Thinking about it, got a Gore
six
Claw.
lands is a hard ask to keep.
Yeah, yeah, but he's thinking about it.
But there are some players who just refuse to mulligan to five. There's a lot of players
Oh,
that like,
he kept it.
okay, he said, I know the power of my deck. I do need some help. Like when you keep hands like this, if you draw like one or two more lands, it's almost game over.
Yeah.
Like what's the worst that could happen? The worst that
Okay.
could happen is you just draw lands. All right, so bailed out slightly here with the briefcase.
And he's also drawn another Niblis.
Okay, it's a good one to have. Yeah, so this is pretty neat here. He gets everything. He gets to bring his guy back, and he gets the 1/1 flyer. So rest of
Mhm.
hand here is Swift Reckoning, Tithe Bear Giant, and then Crushing Disappointment, which is a draw two for 4 mana in black, and it makes each player lose 2 life, I believe.
Mm.
So everybody loses 2, and he draws. All right, so he's just gonna run out the Niblis here. Says, you know what?
Zach's
I'm gonna use my treasure. I'm good with it. Ooh, interesting. Uh,
fortunate to not draw any land if you Spark Harvest.
Interesting that Chris gave him the card here because he does have Swift Reckoning in hand. So if the Niblis ever attacked, he could just kill it with the Swift Reckoning. But he says
Yeah.
it's a little scary here. I'm scared enough. So I think he is gonna now use the Swift Reckoning on the Gore Claw. Okay, he'll say I'll develop my flyer first.
You can't because he's got to be tapped.
Oh right, of course. Well he could have left open the 2 mana, and then when the Gore Claw attacks, he kills it. But he could just do it next turn. All right.
This hand has worked out quite well for Zach.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you just gotta keep these risky hands and say, I know the power of my deck. I have 6 lands. I have, probably all of my colors. My draws are gonna be good as long as they're not lands. And sometimes you get there. Sometimes you draw 2 or 3 lands in the first few turns and the game ends. But that is not the case here.
Yeah, so he's got Spark Harvest, Dreadbore, Augmented Pugilist, and Pelagi Archaeologist, and an Evolving Wilds.
Okay.
And
So again,
this,
just more, just yeah, solid plays. No lands here for Chris. The only castable spell is Swift Reckoning. Once something becomes tapped, he has a Bile Blight that's not castable, and he has cards that cost 4 and 6 mana. So he needs some lands or stuff to do, or he's gonna fall behind here potentially. He does have the 3 damage in the air, but you know, Zach can probably kill that 2/3 at some point.
Mhm.
Yeah, so the Swift Reckoning is going to get cast here. I don't know if Zach was planning to cast an expensive creature discounted, but the Gorklaw can no longer provide that advantage. Well, so yeah, what else are his options here? Okay, Philology.
Yeah, he's got this, and he's got the Augmented Pugilist.
Oh, Bring to Light. Okay, that's interesting one.
Thinking about whether he wants the Dreadbore.
Yeah, do you think maybe he was planning to play the 3/3 and the auto tapper decided to mess him up slightly?
Yeah, because No, I think he was still planning to play the Dreadbore.
Okay.
Because yeah, it's you either the auto tapper either allows the pugilist or allows the Dreadbore, right? So it has to pick one. I
Yeah, well,
think.
the auto tapper chose for him, perhaps. All right, so Lifebane Zombie, another uncastable here. So no castable spells at the present time for Chris means that it's likely is going to be falling behind now.
Got
Bring to
another
Light.
Gates of Blaze. Stack got a Gates of Blaze, which is only one right now, but maybe he needs to kill that 1/1 flyer at some point, and he just casts it to deal one. But
Well, it'll effectively only kill the 2/1 because the 2/1 will
oh
probably
yeah,
become a 1/1 flyer. So I can't imagine that's a
yeah,
viable
not
option.
now.
Yeah, unfortunately, like I said, for Chris, not much to say about anything going on here.
Yeah,
He just can't cast the spells.
he's using this Evolving Wilds as a chance to check his Bring to Light targets. I think.
Makes sense. That's what that's what a reigning player of the year would do. I mean, he could also just have his deck open in another window,
Yeah.
but so he did decide to get a Sepkin Swamp here, meaning that his Bring to Light could not be for more than 4. Yeah, it's just like again, Chris is probably just sitting there feeling pretty bad about not drawing lands. Like you're playing 2 colors, you should be able to cast your spells. Like because he has 2 double black cards too that he has enough mana to cast, but not the right type of mana.
Swamp is interesting because he also has Skyrider Elf, which he also can't get for 5.
You don't want to bring to light for a Skyrider Elf.
No, he has it. No, he has the
Oh, he has
Skyrider
it
Elf
in
in hand.
hand. But yeah, he can only do it for 4. He's gonna bring out the Niblis here. All right, we do get a
I guess he
swamp
wants.
here.
Guess he wants the option to Spark Harvest without sacking a creature. I guess yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, I think Chris has said, I know what this Niblis can do. I did finally draw my swamp. I can get rid of it. Unless he can't. Did Zach have something he can cast there? Because
Sorry, what'd you say?
Zach was Zach on full control?
No.
Okay, because it passed priority over to Zach when he only had 1 black mana open.
Yeah, didn't. Yeah, Spark Harvest is a sorcerer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he doesn't have anything he could cast.
Okay. It's possible that he went on control then, maybe bluffing a supernatural stamina or
Mhm.
something.
Oh yeah, maybe I missed.
And here comes a 4/4 flyer. That's going to it's going to be an annoyance. But this Lifebane Zombie is unblockable at the current time. And
Ooh, we get the
well,
Augmented
let's get
Pugilist.
that thing out of here. So this is probably a time when Gates Ablaze is looking probably good enough here.
Yeah,
Just wipes out everything. Opponent's left with a 1/1 flyer, but without the Lifebane Zombie, which is the real problem. And with another removal still in hand here, Zach's looking to get this game done pretty fast with this 4/4 flyer. Zach's got all the fixing in this deck. Between the Caryatid, Courier's briefcases, district guides.
he's gonna be missing this deck next week.
He will have to build something else, yes. He's going to cast Crushing Disappointment. Archangel of Thune is an interesting card, but unfortunately, there is a Spark Harvest there to stop it. So perhaps
And
he'll.
he's also got Pen and Burn now.
Okay, that's a good one as well.
Are we just gonna burn this?
Huh.
Okay.
Interesting. That seems premature, but yeah. Okay, so
Topping up. Maybe
Soren is the draw here, but once again, he knows the Spark Harvest is in hand, so any quality creature or planeswalker is going to get fed to that. I think he wants his Archangel of Thune to live, So he may have to sacrifice the Soren here in order to do that. Yeah, because he could like minus the Soren, bring back like a Lifebane zombie or some other thing that's in his graveyard.
Yeah, but then I guess you just burn the Soren. You don't have to use the Spark Harvest on it.
Yeah, that is possible too. I mean, in the meantime, Chris is just gonna die to this 4/4. He has a Rise of Extus in hand, which is a 6 mana removal, the one where you can learn, but he does not have the land for it. So while there's a bunch of stuff he may be able to do,
Soren.
all right, I think he's gonna bring something back. As predicted, Lifebane Zombie. All right, let me take a look at that hand again, see what you've drawn since the last time.
About whether he wants to burn the Lifebane zombie or the Planeswalker.
Well, I mean, he doesn't have to decide at this exact moment.
I guess. Well, I guess he is deciding at this moment.
That is
Yeah, but he
very
doesn't
true.
have.
Yeah, yeah, and neither of the cards in hand can be taken with the Lifebane Zombie. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so we'll see what Chris can do in the coming turns. Like he sees the Spark Harvest, he has to play something into it. Um, he wants this. This Archangel of Thune is a card that can absolutely take over the game very, very fast.
Spark Harvest. Ooh, Possessed Scab.
Oh, that
So
is
it's
a
a nice
real
try.
good one. That might make the game a bit out of reach here potentially. Okay, so he is attacking the Sorin. I feel like he could have just opponent's at 10. You could probably just attack the opponent, but he
It's
said
trumped either way.
he said I know what Sorin did in that first game. I feel like I need to get it off the board here, or at least make my opponent jump block if they value having it.
It also gives everything a lifelink, right? So it doesn't really.
Yeah, lifelink during your turn.
Ah, okay. What's he looking for? This Possessed Scab.
I mean, he has. I mean, I know Turn and Burn's in there. He has other removals in there. I'm sure that we've seen.
Yeah. He's got Red Boy.
Yeah.
Anything other than removal he wants? Maybe the Nibblus of Frost?
Could be.
Maybe he has something to bring to light? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like just getting something you can cast cheaply goes a long way. Like he kind of has what he needs to win in play, or pretty close to it. Okay, he says I will get this Nibblus here. Yeah, unfortunately, Chris can cast something powerful this turn in Archangel of Thune, but he knows it's dead, so he's in a tough spot here, unable to do more than one thing in a turn this late in the
Yeah,
game.
I'm
Makes it hard to win.
liking this Nibblus of Frost because you can tap down things, push damage.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
this is not gonna be good enough here. Yeah, so you can just Spark Harvest this.
Mhm.
Let's see. Yeah, Spark Harvest that.
Mhm.
If you want to just make sure the Sorin doesn't stay alive, you can kill the Sorin. Otherwise, you
Yep.
can put opponent super, super low here. Okay.
Yeah, the flyers are lethal anyway, so Might as well give it this one.
Yeah, and he needed that sixth land for the Rise of Extus here, but unfortunately it came in the form of an Evolving Wild. So we see the five color Gates deck with a lot of powerful late game and card draw, able to outlast the black white deck in some very very grindy games. So very well done for both players. Congratulations to Zach on the win there, and thanks for watching.